What you are about to hear is the kind of story that WWE does not want trending. The kind of story that makes executives sweat, that makes PR teams work overtime, and that makes wrestlers quietly text each other asking, "Did you hear what happened?" Because last week, behind those closed gorilla position curtains, away from the cameras, away from the fans, away from the bright lights of whatever arena WWE was rolling through, something went down that has the entire locker room divided. And when I tell you who was involved, your jaw is going to hit the floor. Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Say that combination out loud. Let it sit with you for a second. Because this isn't just a backstage rumor. This isn't dirt sheet fluff. This is a story with receipts, with sources, and with consequences that could reshape the landscape of WWE for the next 6 to 12 months. So if you're new here, welcome to WrestleScope. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this is the kind of content we bring you every single week. And if you're already part of the family, you already know. Let's get into it. To understand why this situation exploded the way it did, you need to understand the temperature of the WWE locker room right now. Let me paint you a picture. Oba Femi is not just a rising star at this point. Calling him a rising star is almost an insult. This man has been ascending at a pace that the WWE machine doesn't manufacture very often. We're talking about a physical specimen who walks into a room and immediately commands it. We're talking about someone who, and this is the part that matters, has been getting quiet cosigns from veterans, people who don't give those out easily, people who have been around long enough to know the difference between a guy who looks like a star and a guy who is a star. Oba Femi is the latter, and the whole locker room knows it. Now, on the other side of this story, and I want you to really think about this, you have Brock Lesnar, a man who by most accounts should not even be physically present in a WWE facility right now, given everything that has swirled around his name over the past year. A man whose return timeline has been one of the most hotly debated topics in wrestling media. A man who, even in his absence, casts a shadow so large it touches every big man on the roster. When Brock Lesnar walks into a building, whether he's booked or not, the energy shifts. People feel it. Veterans straighten up, younger guys get nervous, and the ones with something to prove, they get hungry. That combination, Lesnar's presence and Femi's hunger, is exactly what lit the fuse backstage. Here's what our sources are telling us, and I want you to pay very close attention because the details here are everything. Brock Lesnar was reportedly at a recent WWE event, not advertised, not acknowledged publicly, in what was described as an exploratory capacity, meaning conversations are happening behind the scenes. Lesnar's people have been talking to WWE's people. That in itself is newsworthy, but that's not the story. The story is what happened when Lesnar and Oba Femi ended up in the same corridor backstage. Now, in WWE's backstage environment, there is an unspoken hierarchy. It's not written down anywhere. Nobody hands you a rulebook, but everyone knows it. You give veterans their space, you give legends even more space, and you give Brock Lesnar, a man who has made mountains out of men who were supposed to be immovable, you give him whatever he wants. Oba Femi apparently didn't get that memo, or more accurately, he didn't care about that memo. According to our sources, Femi was walking through the gorilla area after cutting what was described as one of his best backstage promos to date. He was locked in, focused, in that tunnel vision headspace that elite performers get into before big moments. And as he turned a corner, he came face to face with Brock Lesnar. Now here's where the story gets murky, and where accounts differ depending on who you ask. One version says Lesnar initiated it, that Lesnar, being the apex predator who has never once in his career backed down from physically asserting dominance, shoulder-checked Femi in a way that was absolutely deliberate, not accidental, not the result of a crowded hallway, deliberate, a test, the kind of physical communication that alpha personalities use in that environment when words feel insufficient. The other version says Femi, already fired up, already locked in, maybe not fully registering who was in front of him, didn't move out of the way fast enough, and the collision happened because neither man was willing to yield. But here's what both versions agree on, and this is the part that the internet is going absolutely wild over. Oba Femi did not back down. He didn't apologize, he didn't look away, he stood his ground, right there, in front of Brock Lesnar, a man who has made Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Undertaker all look human. Oba Femi planted his feet, looked Lesnar dead in the eyes, and didn't move an inch. And for a moment, a tense, electric, absolutely cinematic moment, nobody breathed. Let me tell you what that moment meant,
because I don't think casual fans fully understand the cultural weight of what we're describing. In WWE's locker room, moments like this get remembered. They get talked about for years. We still hear stories about guys who shrunk in Brock Lesnar's presence and guys who didn't. And the ones who didn't, the ones who looked Brock in the eye and didn't flinch, those are the guys who earned a different kind of respect from that day forward. Oba Femi just became one of those guys. Sources backstage describe the aftermath as almost immediate. Word traveled through that locker room faster than a Brock F5. Wrestlers who were in catering heard about it within minutes. People were pulling out their phones, people were asking, "Did you see that?" And the general consensus from people who have been in that environment for years was unanimous. That kid just proved something that you can't teach, can't fake, and can't buy. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is the part that should make every single one of you smash that comment section with your thoughts, because Brock Lesnar's reaction to Femi standing his ground was not what anyone expected. He didn't escalate, he didn't get louder, he didn't call for anyone. He reportedly looked at Femi for a long moment, and then, and witnesses have confirmed this, he nodded. Just slightly, almost imperceptibly, but he nodded. Now, if you know Brock Lesnar's history, if you know how this man operates, what he respects, and what it takes to earn even a flicker of acknowledgement from him, you understand why that single nod is being treated as one of the most significant non-verbal moments in recent WWE backstage history. Brock Lesnar just quietly anointed Oba Femi. Now, let's zoom out, because this isn't just a fun backstage story. This has real, tangible implications for where WWE is heading. The company has a Brock Lesnar-shaped hole in their event structure right now. Say what you want about his personal controversies, and those are absolutely real and absolutely serious, but from a purely business standpoint, Lesnar's presence moves numbers. His involvement in a WrestleMania program, a SummerSlam match, a premium live event of any kind, it changes the commercial calculus of that event significantly. And if WWE is exploring a Brock Lesnar return, even a limited one, they are going to need to think very carefully about who they put in the ring with him, because the wrong match makes everyone involved look bad. The wrong opponent makes Brock feel like a nostalgia act. But the right opponent, the right one, someone young, someone physical, someone who doesn't just feel space but demands it, can use a Brock Lesnar program to catapult themselves into a completely different stratosphere. Think about what a program between Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi could look like. Think about the size, think about the physicality, think about Femi, who has been delivering increasingly charismatic and increasingly confident promos, going toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar on the microphone, knowing he already went toe-to-toe with him in that hallway and didn't blink. That story writes itself. It practically writes itself in capital letters with fireworks attached. And here's the layer that makes it truly compelling. Femi doesn't need Lesnar the way previous opponents needed Lesnar. He's not a project. He's not someone WWE is desperately trying to get over. He's already on that trajectory, which means a program between these two wouldn't be Brock Lesnar making someone, it would be Brock Lesnar meeting someone. That dynamic is infinitely more interesting, infinitely more watchable, and infinitely more valuable for everyone involved. This backstage moment may have been accidental, but the match it could produce would be anything but. Now, I know what some of you are typing in the comment section right now. Some of you are saying Brock shouldn't be anywhere near WWE. Some of you are saying protect Oba Femi at all costs, keep Lesnar away from him. And some of you, and I see you, and I respect it, are saying this is exactly the kind of program that could define Femi's career the way certain Brock Lesnar programs define the careers of others. All three of those perspectives are valid. All three of them deserve to be in the comment section of this video right now, because this is the kind of conversation that wrestling needs to be having. Because at its core, this story is about something every great wrestling story is about. Who are you when the biggest, baddest, most imposing force in the room walks up and tests you? Who are you when the easy thing, the smart thing, the self-preserving thing would be the step aside? Oba Femi answered that question in a hallway when no one was watching, and now everybody's watching. The question now is whether WWE has the courage and the creativity to take what happened organically in that corridor and build something legendary out of it on the biggest stages they have. If they do, and I genuinely believe they should, we could be watching the beginning of a rivalry that people talk about for the next decade. And if they don't, then this backstage moment becomes a footnote, a story for podcasts and YouTube channels like this one, what could have been that we revisit when Femi is champion and we're tracing the road that got him there. Either way, one thing is crystal clear after what happened backstage. Oba Femi is ready. He has been ready, and now even Brock Lesnar knows it. That's the story. That's everything our sources have pieced together, and I want to know right now what you think. Should WWE pull the trigger on a Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi program? Would you pay to watch that match? And more importantly, whose side are you on in this backstage moment? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't just say, good video, give me your actual opinion. Tell me who you think wins if this becomes a WrestleMania match. Tell me if you think Brock Lesnar's presence in that building was calculated or coincidental, because the best comment section in wrestling YouTube is right here, and I want this one to go crazy. If you are not subscribed to WrestleScope yet, what are you doing? Seriously, hit that red subscribe button right now. We bring you the stories nobody else is talking about, the angles nobody else is connecting, and the analysis that actually respects your intelligence as a wrestling fan. Hit the like button if this video gave you something to think about. Share it with every wrestling fan you know because they deserve to hear this story. and turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop something new.